So the people essentially have an option. They have an option. Society at large, the world at large, they got a choice in this 0 point. Do they want to go with the course of action that you see among the celebs, where it's like dog eat dog? It is not regular dog eat dog. Because once upon a time, I looked at a National Enquirer or two. I definitely did. I looked at a few tabloids before. I looked at Star Enquirer before. I looked at these things before. And it's really made to be, the tabloids at least, were made to be satire. It was really made to just be like parody. It's just them having fun, just goofing around. That was really what the tabloids were more so about. So who's to say the spats are not of a similar aim among celebrities, even though what they throw around in a lot of the subject material, a lot of the subject matter, can be particularly damaging. You know, it's always the average smear campaign now starts with the word allegations. Allegations, what people are being alleged of. Allegations. The A word. A lot of campaigns will start with that. Will start with alleged. And that's just how dystopian things have become. Once upon a time, you could say anything to anybody, and they can say anything back to you too. And if either side felt any way about it, then both parties would step out the way and let y'all settle your dispute. But every time we look up now, it's this person comes out and speaks out about this person. This person comes out and speaks out about this person. It's almost like a metastasized version of what the Me Too movement was, where you had victims coming out, you had people coming out saying this person did this and that, and started off with big names, and then it kind of died down a little bit. Like over the years, you know, first it was just a couple of big names getting hit with big scandals, and then you would just get like medium to small scandals in the interim. Now it's so jam-packed that it's almost like crying wolf at this point. You don't know what to believe or not believe. And this can do one of two things to people. Both of them involve disconnection, though. The first thing that this can do is traumatize the person to the point of dissociation. If they're affected that deeply by what goes on in the lives of celebrities. This was the big push against idolatry in a lot of belief systems under the context of worldly entertainment / propaganda. Because idolatry, people worship, caused people to feel too deeply about the lives of the celebrities. Perhaps not realizing that even after the celebrity steps off the stage, off the camera, out of the studio, that the show still goes on. As long as they're being recorded, there's still a show. And when we're used to seeing something so often be portrayed as real, or I should say, when we see something so often being portrayed as non-real, we deal with desensitization. And when we're desensitized, the real thing, it just passed right by us because we so trained to just look at the fake thing like it's white noise. And so when people are filled too deeply, if one of their favorite celebrities should be taken out suddenly, this could devastate the person to the point where you'll have people being depressed, distraught, and bent out of shape over a total stranger, not knowing that the stranger's arrangement is probably to fake their death. It's probably to fake a catastrophe. It might be for clout, but for others it's clamor. Because, you know, this is their hero. This is their role model. This is who they feel like they can probably identify with in terms of personage. So if this person should fall out of place and fall out of whack, it can be particularly disturbing. And you just keep seeing a pattern of buttons being pressed in the 0 point because they're trying to see what's what. Because remember, everything's being created again. Even though you see the former skin of what was, with everything still being like quote unquote put in place, they're just fading sketches of what's very, very quickly becoming the far distant past. Even though in time and in terms of linear time, it wasn't that long ago. For a one-hit wonder, now their shelf life is shorter than ever if they're not doing other things to stay in the spotlight. If they're not doing other things to stay on record, then a one-hit wonder will be forgotten sooner than ever. Once upon a time, a one-hit wonder could last a year or two. And through summer twice. A one-hit wonder. They could last. And to this day, their song might still play at somebody's cookout, somebody's wedding reception, or up in somebody's mall or somebody's store. Today's one-hit wonder may not be able to say the same thing because there's a long line of one-hit wonders. So whoever is the wonder with the one hit, they only got 1 second to get it off and another second to promote it. So it's just ones. One-hit wonder only getting one moment. One-hit wonders, they used to get chances. If your hit was big enough, they didn't even have to really know who you was too much before you made it to maybe a Larry King Live. They would try you out. But now, because that system is seemingly broken with nobody at the wheel, nobody at the helm, it's just these programs, and they are programs, they're just being allowed to run rampant. And you could tell that they're programs because they keep sending the same type of celebrity. They keep like recreating them over and over, he or she, over and over and over. And you guys know what I'm talking about, without trying to make any big celebrities, without trying to defame them in any way. But we gotta admit, you know what I mean? There's particular trends and types now. And this is nothing different than what was done before. This is where you got the whole idea of egregores from. It came from archetypes. All of these things and blueprints and styles and trends, it's all of an archetypal nature. It's all dealing with archetypes, with blueprints. And what's an archetype? Architect. Architect is hiding in the word archetype. This is what makes the idea of the analyst so dangerous outside of the matrix. There's always something going on inside of the movie to tell you a lot about what's going on outside of the movie. The analyst inside of the movie was telling us a lot about what happens outside of the movie, that when certain people connect, right? A lot of twin flameology going on. in Matrix 4. We're going through this world. We're really superheroes, but we've been trained to see ourselves a certain way for so long that that's who we think we are, and now we got other people to believe that that's who we are too, when secretly underneath we're the future rulers of the demiurge, the new round of the Christos patron saints. All of these things, and just waiting to be created in like this blank desert that they're calling the desert of the real. But it's a desert though. It's real, but it's also a real blank. It's real desolate. Very unlike what we would ascribe to higher dimensions like 4D, 5D. You know, this stuff is jam-packed. It's jam-packed when you're dealing with different dimensions, because now what you're doing is you're considering different life forms in seemingly the same space and time. You know, it's almost like saying you're putting an overlay screen on top of one. It's pretty much the same screen, but it's just an overlay, and now each overlay is involving a different background and a different environment inside of one skin that might be a particular environment. Very holographic, very wardrobe-like. This is what the scriptures mean when they talk about taking off the garments of mortality and putting on the new man. It's like clothing. You know, you're putting it on. Just like they say, you're putting on an act. You know, the new man is something you have to put on, and we don't mean put on like it's fake. Like I'm putting on. I'm just putting on. I'm not being real. Not that kind of put on, but put on like helping somebody come up. Like you put on for your city. You made it possible. You made room for the new you, the improved you, your higher self. You made room for that part of you to flourish, because you had all of this mental space available by not people worshiping. So this is a little bit what goes on in this demiurge.